If you've skipped more than one training session this year, you need to watch this video. If you're anything like the hundreds of guys that I've coached to get bigger and stronger, I'm guessing that the one thing holding you back from your goals is that you do not have your shit together outside of the gym. Now, be honest with yourself. You probably don't follow a schedule, you miss training sessions, you don't track your food, you wake up and sleep at different times. You probably don't even have clear goals or a clear training program that you follow. So in this video, I'm going to help you to fix it so that you can get stronger in half the time it took me and learn from all of my mistakes. If you would like me to coach you one-to-one and help you with these things personally, click the top link in the description to hire me as your strength coach. So I've been training for around 10 years, and the area that I've had the most success with in my life is by far fitness. Like, I've skipped genuinely less than 5 to 10 training sessions in my entire time I've been lifting. Like, ask anyone that knows me, and I do not skip training for anything. I've had streaks of like 3 to 5 years where I haven't missed a single training session, and it's allowed me to put like 30 to 40 kilos of muscle on from where I started. I've been able to squat 247.5 kilos, bench 160 kilos, and deadlift 300 kilos. And those are numbers that I thought only like steroid users and people like that could achieve when I first started lifting. So let me share some of the things that have helped me to stay so consistent. And I've applied these things to the hundreds of people I've coached, and it's really helped them as well, because oftentimes most of the work I do with my clients is on their life outside of the gym, because once we've got a decent training program and nutrition plan in place, usually it's the things outside of the gym that are holding people back. So step number one in this process is you need to set some goals that are worth suffering for. And I know this is like cliche advice, and I'm not going to give you that little cute recommendation to go and do SMART goals and stuff like that, because you've been told that by everyone else and it hasn't worked. You need to set a big goal, a goal that is worth suffering for, because there's no way that you're going to go to the gym every day, you're going to train when you don't want to, you're going to eat the meals when you don't want to, if the goal isn't worth suffering for. And a lot of you put in the comments section, or I'll get DMs for like coaching applications and stuff, and the goals are like, oh, I just want to build a little bit of muscle, I don't want to get too big, or like, I want to bench 90 kilos one day, or something like that, right? And the reason you aren't hitting those goals is because, honestly, those goals are pretty shitty goals. Like, I'm not going to the gym 5-6 days a week if my goal is to just build a little bit of muscle and not get too big, because it's such a like small goal that I'm just not going to do those things. I'm not going to go through the suffering to get there. The goals that you set, like, they need to be big. Like, I want to squat 5 plates. I want to build an aesthetic physique where I look better than most guys. I want to be one of the strongest guys in most gyms that I go into. And it's not arrogant for you to set goals like this, because if you're putting in so much effort and you want to be bigger and stronger and you want to be just overall a better man, you want big goals. Because the reason you're watching all these YouTube videos is because you want to achieve things that other people aren't achieving. You don't want these mediocre goals. So first thing you need to do is set a big goal that is worth achieving. And a big part of my consistency was because I had these huge numbers I wanted to hit. I wanted to be competitive in powerlifting. I wanted to lift more weight than other people. So if you set a really big goal, even if you fall short, you're still going to hit a great goal. So imagine your goal is like a 5-plate squat. Even if you fail, you're still going to hit like a 4-plate or a 4.5-plate squat, which is still really great. So what I would do is set some really ambitious goals, that like dream goals that you can really visualize, and they really excite you to actually go to the gym consistently, to do the suffering, to eat the meals, to do the boring stuff. And then I want you to pin those goals up somewhere visible. So literally put them somewhere where you can see them every single day. So mine are literally right there, just out of view of the camera. I've got top 5 goals, and they're right above my monitor. So I see them every single day when I walk in my room. Sometimes when I'm doing work, I'll just glance up at them and I see them there, and it motivates me, and it kind of reaffirms why I'm doing the things I'm doing, and it makes the suffering worth it. And I want you to really spend a lot of time on this step. Like, really visualize how your life will change when you achieve those goals. Like, why is that goal important to you? How are you going to feel when you achieve it? Try to avoid setting these, like, I know it's good to set realistic goals and stuff like that, but honestly, if your goal is just very small, very average, like I just want to build a tiny bit of muscle, I don't want to get too big, I feel like some of those goals, you're lying to yourself and you're setting that small of a goal because you've kind of reaffirmed in your mind that that's the only goal you're capable of, because right now you're the person who skips training, doesn't follow a schedule, doesn't track your food and stuff like that. And because of that, you believe that that's the only kind of goal you're capable of. So we need to change that mindset, set some huge goals that you're going to achieve, and then you need to become the kind of person who can achieve those goals. And keep in mind that every action you take towards those goals is a step towards the person you want to become. And vice versa of that, every action you take away from those goals, like skipping training sessions or not following a program, that's a step away from the person you want to be. So set really big, ambitious goals. Even if you fall short, you'll still hit a great goal. Write them down, pin them up somewhere that you see them every single day, and then it will make the suffering actually worth it. So once we've got some goals in place and we know what we actually want to achieve, because we need a purpose to go and hit, you can't just freestyle it, because you will not go to the gym, trust me. So once we got those goals, step number 2 is setting some daily anchors or a daily checklist that will actually act as stepping stones towards that goal. So the daily tasks that are required to actually go and reach that goal. Apologies for the background noise. So yeah, there's no point just having a goal, because a goal without a set plan to get there is literally just a dream, basically. So we're going to set some daily anchors, and I've written this down on a notes page, and I'll show you an example on screen. And basically, you need to kind of break down your goal into these separate tasks that you need to do daily to actually get there. So, for example, if your goal is to get as big and as strong as possible, you're going to need to do some of the basic things, like you're going to need to train regularly. You're going to need to sleep 8 hours per day. You're going to need to track your macros so that you're in a cut or a bulk. You're going to need to eat mostly whole foods, hydrate yourself properly, and things like that. So once you can identify the tasks that need to be done every single day, get them on the daily checklist, and then it becomes non-negotiable that you do them every single day. Now, you need to measure them as well. That's really important to hold yourself accountable. I have them, like I showed you, on a notes page, and I'll check them off at the end of the day. I also have them, I can show you right here, in a notepad, journal, whatever you want to call it. And every night before I sleep, I'll go into this and I will check them off. So right here, you can see I've got check boxes here, and I will literally, I'm not sure if you can read it, but before I sleep, I will literally go ahead and check them off every night before bed. And this is like a really powerful exercise to do, because if you get into bed at the end of the day and you can see you've left loads of those boxes unchecked, like you haven't tracked your food, you didn't go to the gym, you're going to feel really guilty, and you're going to make sure you do it the next day. And it's a really satisfying feeling when you see like a whole month of checked boxes, and you'll see that that directly correlates to an improved mental health, like your mood will be better, you'll feel better about yourself, feel more confident. So that's really important that you go and do these actions every single day. Now, if you need a little bit of direction and you need to be kind of like told what to go and do and to follow, click the second link in the description. You'll be able to take my strength course. It includes training programs and stuff like that. So once we've got the goal that we want to achieve, and we've got the daily checklist or the daily anchors that are the stepping stones to get us there, step number 3 is to write yourself a daily schedule. So the goals kind of dictate what we want to achieve. The daily checklist dictates the steps to get there. The daily schedule dictates when we're going to do it, okay? So there's no point having all these actions to do but not knowing when you're going to do them. And a lot of you are just waking up, going about your day without a plan. And that's why you don't get much done, because you don't have time dedicated to each thing. And there's a rule, Parkinson's law, I believe it's called, where basically like tasks expand to fill the time that you allocate to them. That's why like when you've got a deadline for work or university or something, it will literally take like all the way up until the deadline, because you haven't set like clear time frame based goals. So for this daily schedule, all you need to do, this is super simple as well. You can open up a notes page, you can open up a calendar, whatever you want it to be, and I'll show you again an example on screen. And you need to just basically plan out your ideal day, an ideal day that's going to allow you to do this daily checklist and to move closer to your goals. So you need to include when you're going to wake up, when you're going to eat your meals, when you're going to train, when you're going to do your deepest work, when you're going to spend time like socially with family, friends, and when you're going to sleep. And once you've got this framework to run through every single day, you just need to go and do it consistently. I do mine on a calendar. So literally before I sleep, I'll go ahead and plan my next day out on my calendar, like down to the hour. And you don't need to be that like detailed about it. Maybe you don't want to plan the entire day out, but you at least need some kind of structure. You can't just go through the days and freestyle it and just waste a bunch of time. And that's why you're skipping training, and that's why you're stuck at where you're at, because you have no clear plan or direction. I don't know any like driven or successful people who don't follow some kind of schedule. They don't just wing their days. So basically, we're going to write that schedule out, and I like doing it on a calendar. And I also like the desktop app. It's called To Do. I'll put it on screen. I'm not sponsored or anything. I just really like using it. And yeah, get yourself a schedule. People literally cannot function without a routine. And I remember like a few years ago, so I was in university. This is my daily schedule back when I was in university, and you can probably relate to this. I would wake up at like 12 o'clock in the afternoon. I would go in the kitchen with one of my flatmates, and we would make some food. We would just chill, chat. I would crack a can of Monster. Then we would go and game for the next like 3-4 hours on Call of Duty. I think it was like World War II back then. We'd play that up until like 5-6 p.m. Then I would go train, come home, chill, and just repeat. And yes, I got good results in like fitness and the gym, but everything else went shit. Like my physique didn't look very good because I wasn't tracking food. I didn't have like a meal plan or anything. Obviously, I had no goals in terms of business or work or anything like that. So in order to really maximize your progress in all of these areas, you need a plan and you need a schedule to follow. So before you click off this video, go make some notes and actually follow the things that I've outlined in this video, because I promise you they will help. I was in the position you were a few years ago. I coach hundreds of guys who are in the same position that you are right now. And I promise you the biggest thing holding you back is that you do not have these things together outside of the gym. So step one, write yourself down a goal worth suffering, pin it up, make it something that you see every single day to give you a reason to actually go to the gym and train consistently. Because I promise you, you won't be the kind of guy who skips training sessions if you've got a really big goal that you want to hit. Step number 2, we need to have a daily checklist or daily anchors that are kind of stepping stones to get you towards that goal. Step number 3, you need a daily schedule. You need a bit of a plan for your days, so you've got structure and you know when you're going to be doing these things. Don't just freestyle your days. So go take some notes, go actually do the things that I spoke about, and I promise you they will help you in your results in the gym and outside of the gym as well. So if you want it done for you, again, link in the description. You can hire me as your strength coach or go through my strength course. I really hope this video helped you out. I've got another video on gym consistency and stuff like that if you want to watch that one. Any questions, comments, stuff like that, put them in the comment section and I'll get back to you, and I'll catch you in the next video.